What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mile High Misfits. So about a year ago, I was looking for a new car to replace my 240SX drift car that you guys may have seen on the channel in other videos. During this process, I was looking at all kinds of different vehicles and I really didn't know what to get, but I knew I wanted something with a V8 that was somewhat reliable and somewhat fast right out of the box. But after all the searching and all of the forums I was reading and all the opinions I was getting from other people, I finally decided to go with the C5 Corvette. And in this video, I wanted to go over exactly why I chose the C5 Corvette over all these other cars that I could have possibly gotten and why the C5 Corvette might be right for you. Before we get into the video, I want to let you guys know that we now have some shirts here at Mile High Misfits. So if you guys want one of the Millennial Paycheck Boomer Taste C5 Corvette shirts, or if you guys want one of the New Edge Mustang Boosting My Ego 1 PSI at a time shirts, you guys can order these through the Instagram page. I'm going to post the link below. It's going to be in the comments section. So you guys can order one of these shirts through our Instagram page. They're going to be $25 each. Let's get right into it, guys. So reason number one is this car comes with an absolute powerhouse of an engine, which is the LS1 V8. The base model C5 Corvette comes with 350 horsepower and 350 foot-pounds of torque, which is an absolute crazy number for a 3,200-pound car right out of the factory from 1999. Now, if you go with the Z06 option, you're going to get 405 horsepower and 399 foot-pounds of torque out of the LS6 engine. Now, both of these cars have really impressive numbers for a car that was built in the late 90s and early 2000s. Right out of the box, I mean, both of these cars are pretty fast. Most of you guys have already seen this, but the LS platform is phenomenal. That's why so many people swap them into Miatas and other crazy stuff. It's really easy to make power with these engines, and there's a ton of aftermarket support. So really anything that you want to do with the LS engine, the sky's the limit. So when I was looking at cars, this was a huge green flag for me, and I really wanted to look into it more. Now moving on to reason number two, the C5 Corvette comes with the Tremec T56 6-speed transmission. This is a pretty stout transmission. Just for reference, a lot of people on the forums and Facebook groups have reported running 450 plus horsepower and torque numbers with the stock transmission, which is pretty good for anything straight out of the factory. Of course, if you're going to be running much more power than this, you're probably going to want to upgrade your clutch and differential. But overall, this transmission can have a lot thrown at it and it won't break. I mean, these transmissions are literally made to be abused. And not to mention with these 6 longer gears, I mean, you're going to be able to reach much higher speeds than most anything out there. So for me, when I was looking for a new car, having a 6-speed versus a 5-speed was just icing on the cake. And of course, if you're looking for a C5 with an automatic transmission, it's going to come with the 4L60, which isn't quite as stout as the T56, but I mean, it's still a good option if you really want to go with an automatic. But when I was looking for a new car, I really wanted to get something with a manual transmission because I like to have a little bit more control over the car, and plus I just think it's more fun. And reason number 3 is the Targa top. Obviously, this is not going to be a pro for everybody. Everybody has their own preferences, but for me, I really enjoy the Targa top. We have a lot of beautiful days here in Colorado, especially during the summer, and so being able to take the Targa top off and enjoy the nice weather is just a huge plus for me. I'm not a huge fan of the soft top convertibles, especially on Corvettes, just because I think it kind of ruins the aesthetic of the car. Again, that's just my personal preference, but for me, I'd much rather have a car with Targa tops or T-tops. Obviously, most Corvettes have this feature, so that was really appealing to me. And my car came with the color-matched Arctic white top, and it also came with the transparent glass top, which I just think is super cool. So now I can cruise around with the top off on a nice summer day, and then I can still put the Targa top back on the car when I want it to look like a coupe again. Let's be real, guys, that's a pretty sweet feature, and you're not going to find that on most cars. Although I do want to put this in there that the Targa top is only an option on the base C5 Corvette. If you get the FRC, which is the fixed roof coupe, or if you get the Z06, you're not going to have that option. So make sure that you choose that accordingly. Now, adding on to that, reason number 4 is the styling of the C5. The C5 Corvette has a sleek design, and the curves of the car are just outstanding. Not to mention the C5 Corvette also has a transverse leaf spring design, which allows it to sit a little bit lower than most other sports cars. This gives the C5 a more aggressive look, and it's a bit more aerodynamic. Also, with the long hood design of the C5 Corvette, it feels like you're in a fighter jet every time you get in the car, which, let's be honest guys, when you're in a sports car, that's the feeling you want. This car also has a reverse opening hood, which is just a badass detail. And I almost forgot to mention, pop-up headlights. Guys, if you're watching this and you are not subscribed, this is you right here. So what are you guys doing? What are you waiting for? It is completely free to subscribe, and you guys are going to help Mile High Misfits reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers. So please smash that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit the like button as well, so that way this video gets pushed out to more people. Now, reason number 5 is that this car is a rear-wheel drive car, guys. It is the icing on the cake. This means that you can do burnouts and skids as much as your heart desires, and this car will never get tired. When a car has this much American power and goodness, how could it be any other way? So this car can do burnouts and skids all day long, and then it can still make it to the track that night and handle it with no problem at all. And let me tell you guys, this thing is a ripper on the track. When I was looking for a new fun car, I still wanted to be able to break the tires loose and get it sideways once in a while, so having a rear-wheel drive car was an absolute must for me. And once again, the Corvette was able to deliver that. Now, moving on to number 6, this is reliability. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. I'm not going to pretend that this thing is a Toyota Camry or something like that, because it is absolutely not. Obviously, this is a 20-something-year-old Chevy with more interior creaks than you can shake a stick at. And when you're looking for a powerful, fun car, usually reliability is not anywhere in the name. However, guys, for what it is, which is an economy cost sports car with less bells and whistles and more horsepower, this car is pretty damn reliable. You could easily daily drive one of these things for a while and it'll still get you from A to B. And guys, this car might not do super well in the snow. However, my buddy Ryan did daily drive a C6 for about 2 years here in Colorado, and he was still able to make it through the snow. But regardless, the LS1 engine is super stout and the T56 transmission runs like a freight train. So guys, for what it is, it's pretty reliable. I mean, this car can take a beating and keep eating. Sure, you might have the occasional ABS failure or electrical gremlin, but this thing still puts a smile on my face from work to home. Now finally, the only reason why anybody buys a C5 Corvette over a Ferrari 458 is the cost. Now, in my book, the C5 Corvette is one of the best bang for your buck cars that is currently on the market in this price range. You can buy a C5 Corvette in the $10,000 to $15,000 price range depending on location and condition of the car. And I got my C5 Corvette in excellent condition for about $14,000, and I could not be happier with the purchase. And if you're looking for a car that's a mechanic special, you can even find them cheaper than that. I've seen some C5s around here that have gone for like $8,000. And owning these things doesn't cost a whole lot as well because, let's be honest, it's a Chevy and parts are cheap. Not as cheap as a Honda, but still cheap. So there you have it, guys. These are the 7 reasons why I think the C5 Corvette is one of the best cars to buy in this price range in 2024. This car has served me extremely well, and I have to say it's one of the best purchases I've made. But everybody's got their own opinion, so let me know in the comments below what you think is the best car within the $10,000 to $15,000 price range. But that does it for this week, guys. If you enjoyed that content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future content. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.